Hi everyone! Welcome to Bookmas Day 7! Woohoo! Today, as you read in the title, we're going over my 10 unpopular opinions book edition. I made a video at this point years ago. I want to say it's my 20 unpopular opinions. If you guys want to go watch that, you can. It's very old and I'm very weird in the entire video, but I did do that. So I thought I would do a unpopular opinions book edition. So that's what we're doing. I have a total of 10. I did not realize until just now when I was like looking through all of the videos that I'm filming today for Bookmas that I literally have like 4 videos that are all like my top 10 blank. Did not realize that. But you know, you gotta just enjoy yourself. Okay? Okay. Let's get started. Okay, we're just gonna go down the list. These are in no particular order of like ones that I feel more strongly about. These are just like as they came to my brain. I don't know. I'm gonna move on. My second unpopular opinion is that I prefer to read on my Kindle over reading a physical book, even though I own a million physical books. Like I will actually go out of my way to download the Kindle version of a book, even if I own the physical copy. I just love reading on my Kindle. It's just so convenient. It's so amazing. And I literally can bring my Kindle everywhere I go. It's even like on my phone. So like, I just love reading on Kindle so much. It's like my favorite thing to do ever. A lot of these I feel like are not very unpopular opinions. I mean, these are just opinions that I have about books and like reading. It's just easier to put them under like unpopular. But this is one I feel like is like 50-50. Some people will say that it's a pretty universal thought, and that is that listening to an audiobook 1000% counts as reading and like counts as you reading a book. I don't care what anybody says, because reading an audiobook, it's literally called an audio book. So no matter what, don't let anyone make you feel like you're not reading just because you listen to a lot of audiobooks. I personally feel like they're on the same playing field. You're still experiencing and enjoying the world within the book. It's just that you're not reading the physical words on the page, but you're still reading the book. You're still experiencing the book. You're still able to like imagine it in your head, and you're still like learning about the characters. So no matter what, it counts. I absolutely despise book covers that have like the movie or TV adaptation covers. Ugh. Like, It Ends With Us. It just had a new version come out that has, what the fuck is her name? Blake Lively on it. And like a lot of books that come out in, like have a movie version, they'll have a new edition come out that has like the movie's picture like as the cover of the book, and I hate them. They're so ugly. They never look cute, and I feel like they just aren't, like, that's not the book. Like, I want the OG cover. I don't want the new one that has like the picture of the movie on it or whatever. Like, I want the original cover. Like, I know specifically one that comes to mind other than It Ends With Us is Daisy Jones and the Six. I have the like normal cover that, you know, it was like, I guess, released with, that has like her face on it, and it's like, it's a drawing of some kind. But then when the show came out, they had the show like poster as the newer print of the cover for the book. And not saying like the print is bad, like I do think that the design of that specific cover isn't that bad, but why not leave the book cover the way the book cover is? Like, why do you need to come up with another edition of it? Like, that's so stupid. Can you tell I get really heated about it? We need to move on before I get really angry about it. Okay, anyways, moving on. Number 5, I like paperbacks better than hardbacks. I don't think this is an unpopular opinion, it's just like an opinion I have about reading. If you can't tell, I like the paperback better than the hardback books. Don't get me wrong, I own a couple of hardback books. I'm not against purchasing hardback. I just personally prefer a paperback book. I like to be able to like fold and bend it and hold it more comfortably, whereas like a hardback book, I feel like you can only really like hold, and it's not very like flexible. I feel like that's a pretty popular opinion though, but whatever. Number 6 kind of goes along with the like book covers that are like the film or TV cover. Why do we need 1,000 editions of a book? Like, don't get me wrong, I am all for buying special editions of books that you love, but what I'm specifically talking about is, why does every store get a different version? Like, why can't I go to Walmart and get the same book but has like a couple extra bonus chapters, but then go buy the same book from Target and it will have a completely different bonus chapter like content? Why? What I know what it is that it's you know, capitalism at its best. Like, they want you to buy 10 editions of the same book because, you know, you want the extra chapters. So in order to get that, you have to buy one from Walmart, you have to buy one from Target, one from Barnes and Noble, and then sometimes they even have ones from like independent bookstores or like this and that, whatever. So it's like every single store you go to will have a different like version of the book, and it makes you feel like you need to buy all of them in order to experience all of the content from all of those books. I think that's fucking ridiculous. I don't think I should have to go and buy one from Walmart, one from Target, one from Barnes, one from an independent bookstore, one from here, one from... I shouldn't have to do that to enjoy all the bonus content that you put out for the book. You know what I mean? Number 7, this may be a very unpopular opinion. I'm not really that sure. I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about it. I think that there are some books that have like a second book or like a sequel or have a couple of sequels that I think are just fucking pointless. There's no reason for it. A lot of the times I think what happens with this kind of stuff is that, you know, the publishers are trying to push out more content. And so in order to make more content, they're like, hey, why don't you just write a sequel to the book that you just let out? Except for the second one will always be rushed and always really not make much sense. Because a lot of the times an author will put out a book as a standalone novel and then kind of be pushed into making a second one, but you didn't set up for a second one in the original novel. So the second one kind of makes no sense. Okay, it's been a couple days since I originally filmed this video, and since filming the video, I've come up with a pretty good example of this whole, like, some books are okay to just be a standalone novel. You don't need to write a second book for the book to, like, make sense or whatever. I don't know. And that is Miss Lynn Painter's new book, Nothing Like the Movies, which is, like, the second in the Better Than the Movies series, I guess it would be considered now. Duology? I don't fucking know. Basically, this book is following the end of Better Than the Movies and telling you the story of Wes and Liz going to college. The issue a lot of people I've seen have with this book is that what's the point of it? Because what you're telling me is I spent the entire first book getting so excited for them to be together, and they get together at the end of that book, and then the start of the second book is them being not together anymore. Excuse me, what? Why? What was the point then of giving them a happily ever after in the first book if you're going to destroy it and not let them have the happily ever after in the second book and then probably give them a happily ever after again? Literally, what was the point? What was the point then? I think instead what she could have done was write a companion novel about the best friend or the guy Michael and their love story, so that it's in the same world as Better Than the Movies, and you can still, you know, use the same setting and the same characters, but just tell the story of someone else's, you know, life and how they fall in love with someone else. It would have been so cute. There's my, like, example for this, by the way. I just felt like I needed to add this in because I felt very strongly about it. So that's all. Back to the video. Moving along. Number 8 is that references to other books / like pop culture / TikTok or like internet, social media in general, I think is really weird in a book. Like, it's so weird. There's one book specifically that I think it might be an Allie book. It might be one of Allie's that I'm thinking of, that she talks a lot about like TikTok, and like it just pulls me right out of the book. Like, I'm like, what? Like, they'll reference a current social media thing and it like just pulls me right out of the book. Like, I just cannot even like continue reading without being like, huh? Because it just feels so weird when a book will reference something that is like a current experience that people are having on the internet. Because I feel like what's going to happen is in 10 years when someone reads it, they're not going to understand that reference. Like, they're not going to get it. And then it's just weird. So I think they're really weird and don't need to be in a book. I get why, because it kind of like helps relate to the reader and be like, hey, you know, TikTok. But that's how kind of it feels. It feels like, hey kids, look, I put TikTok in my book. Ugh. Like, it just doesn't feel... It feels weird. I genuinely feel like it just pulls me right out of the story, because then I just feel like I'm not, like, I can't take it seriously anymore, I feel like is what's happening. Moving on. Number 9 is that books should not have more than 2 point of views. The only book that I've ever read so far that has more than 2 point of views that I was okay with was the little novella in the ACOTAR series, A Court of Frost and Starlight. That's the only book where all the POVs I actually really thoroughly enjoyed. But I have seen and heard of so many books that have like a million POVs that people hate. because if you put too many characters' point of views into the book, it feels like it's not a cohesive story. Like, I feel like when you have 2 point of views, even sometimes like 3, you could probably get away with, but even then, it's just too confusing. Because now there's too many stories you're following and too many perspectives where like you're starting to like co-mingle the perspectives together, and then you get just confused and you're lost and you're like, wait a minute, was that this character or that character? And it's like, There are instances where I feel like when you have multiple POVs in a book, it does make sense. Specifically, A Court of Frost and Starlight. That makes sense because it's like a little novella that's supposed to give you kind of a glimpse into the lives of all the different characters. So, and also in that series, that was the first book that had anyone else's point of view in it. So it's really fun in that scenario to get to experience characters that you had been learning about, like Cassian and all of them, who had never got their own point of view in any of the first 3 books, to have the chance to experience the world from their eyes and from their inner monologue. It was really cool. I already get confused what's going on in the books when it has 2 point of views, let alone 3 or 4. I don't even know how I would even know what's going on. Anyways, there's all my unpopular or just like my opinions on book things. I just wanted to like chit chat and like talk for like 20 minutes, which is pretty much what I did. Yeah, anyways, happy day 7 of Bookmas. We're officially over halfway done, which is pretty crazy, guys, that we're halfway done with Bookmas, even though it's literally, for me, it's December 3rd. I'm filming all these sit down videos today, December 3rd, so that's why I look the same in all these videos. But so I hope you guys have been enjoying so far, and hopefully the rest of the videos are cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe down below, and don't forget to put on post notifications so you get a notification next time I post. I'll see you guys next time. Toodles! Oh my god, I've said toodles like 1,000 times it feels like today. Oh my god.